election year, all these shootings start taking place around the nation. They start going to the parents and saying, you know what, your kid is on too many medications. And I'm a nurse. You don't take enough medications overnight. You slowly wean them off the medications. Because if you don't, they're going to go berserko. And then all of a sudden, these kids are being stripped of their medications that were force-fed to them growing up. And then they grab a gun and they go looting someone else, right? Oh, now we're going to take away more of our Second Amendment rights because of that. Because of a few isolated incidents. And I am really heartbroken. I'm a mother with 5 children. I have 8 grandchildren, ages 5 to 18. And believe me, that is wrong, but it's not the gun that's doing it, it's the person behind it. We don't need these red flag laws here in Oregon that they're pushing down our throats. Look what happened in Venezuela. In 2012, they took away everyone's guns, just like they did in World War II. Took away everybody's guns and then rounded them up and put them in concentration camps. In Venezuela in 2012, they did the same thing. By 2019, the country was in chaos. People are starving. They're suffering. Women can't get tampons, just like we can't get baby formula right here in Oregon right now. In Venezuela, the people are starving to death. All of their dogs and cats are gone. Their birds have been shot out of the sky. They're down to now eating leaves and bark, and they're reporting to us that the country is totally in the garbage can. A country that was once of the most prosperous countries in the world is now one of the most devastated. If you think that can't happen here in the United States of America, it can. And we've been falling asleep at the wheel, and too many people have been lazy, and they haven't been willing to get off their asses and get to work. And it pisses me off. We're sitting there and we're going after the Oath Keepers and the 3% and the Proud Boys. We have a few bad apples in every organization. We had some bad apples in my church. We had some bad apples in Boy Scouts of America where I was an assistant scoutmaster. You're going to find that everywhere. But I'm going to tell you right now, as your governor, I will not bend like a willow tree. I will stand like an oak, and I am not your leader. You are the ones that I serve. You are the ones that I will serve. I don't have Betsy Johnson's $10 million. My uncle, who was a millionaire and an actor in Hollywood, died a few years ago. And one thing, my uncle Hugh O'Brien, his name was Hugh O'Brien, he played Wyatt Earp on TV.
No way!
That's my uncle!
Oh man, I grew up watching him.
So did I.
I love that guy.
My mother was the stand-in for Natalie Wood. I made the movie called The George Wallace Story with Gary Sinise and Angelina Jolie and Mary Hemingway, the granddaughter of Ernest Hemingway. And one of the things my uncle taught me when I was growing up, he was a Marine Corps. Both my grandfathers were Marine Corps. He said, when you get knocked off a horse, you brush yourself off and you get back on. Right. You get knocked off again, you brush yourself off and you get back on.
Right.
And I looked up at him. I was 8 years old. This was in the 1960s. And I said, and Uncle, what happens if he butts you and you get knocked off? He winked at me and said, you brush yourself off and you get back on and you don't quit. As your governor, I will make sure that we start getting this educational system in order. Because right now we're number 48 and 49 out of 50 states. We're right there almost neck and neck with Nevada. We need to not only have respect for our teachers, some who are reaching into their pockets and making purchases with their own paychecks in order to supplies for their kids. We have to respect our parents, parental rights. The parents are the ones that decide whether their kids have sex education. Like not in kindergarten and 3rd grade like in Idaho.
That's right.
We don't want any of these textbooks coming down and saying that, you know, let's watch, they read this little book here, this little girl, and she really believes she's a boy, and in the book she's masturbating. This is wrong. I don't want this in my schools in Oregon.
No.
I don't want a kindergarten through 3rd grade told that maybe they're not a boy and maybe they're not a girl. That's something that they don't need. I got sex education when I was in 6th grade, 20 minutes a week, to learn what made the birds